Want to learn how you can look good and feel confident on camera? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you my tips and tricks on how you can become confident. Starting with practice filming yourself for under 60 seconds. So why practice recording for under 60 seconds? Because we want to overcome the fear of even recording. And when you record yourself for 60 seconds, it gives you enough room to analyze how you look like and also not record a 5 to 10 minute video and then the whole thing maybe ends up being garbage. When we record in little bits, we can slowly improve and also slowly get into the habit of just hitting record, because even the fear of getting started is the scariest part. When you do hit record and really challenge yourself to record for 1 minute straight of talking about a subject, any subject, just to start off with, and if you can have a good flow of conversation, that's where it starts. Speaking from my own experiences, when I first did video content, I actually started with live stream. So I started on Twitch. Live stream content doesn't give you the room to screw up because you can't really screw up. I did screw up though, but in the beginning, I only recorded myself for 30 minutes and this 30 minutes turned into 1 hour live streams and then turned into 2 to 5 hour plus live streams. When you do give yourself that 60 seconds to hit record, you're removing the fear of even getting started. And the whole point of becoming confident on camera is to remove the fear of feeling weird, feeling like you're being judged, feeling like you might sound funny. All of those things come into mind when you do start recording yourself, because that's how I felt as well. I felt that, oh my God, I'm gonna look weird on camera. I might not look good, the angles, like not figuring it out, and also like the pace of speech of what I'm talking about. Am I even gonna sound articulate? I'm gonna sound smart? Am I gonna even sound good? All of those things came into mind when I first started hitting record and actually going on camera, is having that mindset too. So when you do record for 60 seconds, it allows you to, get into the habit of just doing it, right? And speaking more deeper on mindset is when you do hit record, to have the mindset of not caring about what others think about you. Because in reality, no one cares about what you're doing and people only care about themselves. So when you're creating content, think about one person you're gonna help. Because going back to, people don't care about what you care about, they care about what can help them. And when you're going on camera, you need to have the mindset of how are you gonna help one person out? When you do have that mindset going in, it's gonna help you record with ease and you're gonna feel good about it. Also have the mindset of when you're speaking in front of the camera, you're not just speaking in front of like a camera, you're speaking in front of an audience, you're speaking in front of your friend, your best friend, your mentor, your potential clients. So go into the mindset of recording yourself on camera as you're going to be entertaining someone or you're going to be providing value to someone. And it starts off with the mindset. I started off going on camera thinking I'm going to entertain, one person, 30 people, 100 people. When you record yourself, you need to think about those things. In the beginning, I might have cared about how I looked, but over time that fear of how I looked or how I sound kind of faded away, because I just did it enough times where it didn't matter to me anymore. I was scared that, my teeth weren't always perfect. So I was like, oh my God, people are gonna notice my flaws, how I'm talking, maybe my body language looks weird, maybe the voice, how I sound like sounds weird, because I never really liked my voice to begin with on camera. And then after going through watching my own footage, I was like, okay, maybe I don't sound as bad. I started to fall in love with myself on camera because I did it enough times for it to become almost like a muscle in my brain. This is like a muscle. It's like once you start doing something, you can't forget how you're gonna do it. Watching your footage. So when you do record these 60-second footage, you want to watch your footage back. When I was on Twitch, I was watching my live streams, and that's why I tell you guys 60 seconds, because you don't want to record yourself for 10 minutes and watch 10-minute long clip. The way you can improve is doing it by increments, doing it in small dosages. When you're testing out a diet, you're not gonna do 0 to 100. You gotta do it slowly to pick up the reps before you can actually record for longer lengths of time. And that's why I recommend 60 seconds, because you can speak for 1 minute without fully screwing up. Maybe you screw up a little bit, but you can catch those screw ups really quickly. So when you watch your footage, I want you guys to look out for the filler words, or even look out for how you look, like the body language. Are you relaxed on camera? Are you sounding more monotone? Are you kind of looking at the camera? Little things like this pick up on, right? I was looking out for filler words when I was looking on Twitch, and also looking at the pace of speech that I was talking. Like, was I flowing in conversation? Was I, speaking in a way where it was relatable or entertaining, or just the tone of voice, right? So you want to also pick up on these little things. I was picking up on the uhs, ums, whats, and buts, and picking up on my energy levels on camera too. Am I this energetic at this sort of speech? How I sound? Did I sound confident on camera? So you want to pick up on those little things, and then over time you'll become confident. I want to also talk about, with recording yourself for 60 seconds, I also took public speaking class, and it gives you room to fail when you do record, because with on camera, you don't have to worry about being live, like live stream or on a public stage. I've had mentors in the past, and even me speaking and presenting in front of clients is like, you don't get the room to fail when you're live. For Toastmasters, they gave us this exercise to practice speaking for 60 seconds because it allowed you to speak articulately and to flow into the conversation enough without stumbling on your words or feeling not confident. If you can speak for 1 minute, then challenge yourself to do another 3 minutes. Challenge yourself to do 5 minutes. Think about being on camera like that, practicing a good flow. Toastmasters taught me those things too, is like, if you can speak confidently for 1 minute, it translates the video, you can speak, and then also get the reps in. The second point is practice your pace of speech and have appropriate amount of pauses. Why do we do that? So this allows you to feel more confident on the next things you're going to say, and it gives you enough time to complete your sentence. We have the power of video. The power of video means that you can edit all those mistakes. Unlike I was talking about with Toastmasters, where we got exercises to practice for 1 minute for our speeches, and then we had to do 5 to 8 minute speeches in front of an audience, you have the power to delete those things with post-editing. You're on video. When you hit record, make sure you're only speaking for a certain amount of time. So I recommend you speak for 5 to 10 seconds. Speak very confidently and comfortably on the subject you're talking about. Speak as if you're speaking to a friend. Have a conversation like it's back and forth. So like when you're talking to a friend, you're usually like speaking for maybe 5 to 10 seconds, and then you allow your friend to speak, right? So in the camera, you want to speak for 5 to 10 seconds, pause. The recommended time to pause, I would say, is try to pause for as long as possible. Editing your videos, I would recommend do 30 seconds, because if you feel like you're going to stumble on the next words you're going to say, then pause for as long as possible. We have the power of editing. So you can edit all of those dead, silent noises. When you start doing this, it gives you more room to think about what you're going to say next. Your flow of speech is not going to be choppy, because when I actually first started speaking on Twitch and on camera, I was very choppy. I noticed like my energy level for certain things I was saying was like da 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 da, but it wasn't like da 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 da. It wasn't flowing nicely. So when you're speaking like this, it is not confident. It's like you're stumbling upon every word, and it's not like it's like flowing. So when you're actually speaking with ease and taking your time, you feel like you're not rushed onto the next words you're going to say. That's why practicing the pace of your speech and also the amount of pauses you have is appropriate for filming videos and also public speaking. Also, when you do only speak for 5 to 10 seconds at a time, you avoid saying things like like, but. So all the filler words will be removed as well when you consciously think about the things you're saying, and also consciously pause at an appropriate amount of time. This has made my editing process so much faster by having pauses in my videos, because I do notice if I speak for more than 10 to 20 seconds at a time, the pace of my speech becomes choppy, and the flow of the pacing is just not flowing anymore. When I do pause for my videos, it actually makes my editing process a lot faster. Because when you do edit a video, you don't want to be spending, let's say you spend 2 days editing a 10-minute video. That's just not efficient enough. And also your confidence on camera, it's not going to show when you're stumbling upon every word. When you talk too long, it actually doesn't make you sound confident on camera or look confident on camera. Because the whole purpose of this is to look confident and to feel confident. And when we actually take our time speaking, it just makes everything a lot smoother. You flow, you feel good, and you look good. Leave a comment down below. Let me know how your journey is going with recording yourself on camera. What are the fears preventing you from hitting record? I'd love to know. Now, the next one is research topics that you feel confident talking about and utilize your experiences with it. So of course, when we record videos, we want to talk about things we already know and we've already been through, because it just makes it easier and you're already confident about the topic. But let's just say you want to talk about things you're currently studying or currently interested in. Let's say you went to school for psychology, you want to talk about these things, but you're currently learning about them, and maybe you haven't had an experience working with a client in these fields. Like, talk about these experiences you're learning with friends, mentors, maybe people you work with. Once you start talking about these experiences for more than, let's say, 3 times, it's gonna become second nature to talk about it. And when you talk about things that you're currently learning or currently passionate about, the more you talk about it, the more it gets ingrained in your brain. It's like working out. When you keep doing the same workout, it's gonna get ingrained in your brain that you don't need to look at an instruction manual on how to do it. It's gonna come natural, right? So even with how I started on Twitch, when I was talking about certain topics, I would talk about it with friends over and over, so it gets ingrained in my head. Also, when you start talking about these things and relating it to yourself and your stories, it also makes you more confident to talk about it too. So maybe you don't have experience working with clients yet, but you have experience working on your own. So when you tell it from your own story, you feel confident even talking about that subject. And I want you guys to do the same. When you are talking about these things, practice on a friend, on a subject you're passionate about. If you haven't done it with someone, if you're getting into an industry, let's say you're getting into graphic design or photography, but you haven't shot anybody, but you only shot yourself, or you can only talk about the experiences through the lens of your own stories. Like, let's say you grew up watching film, you're really into movies, but you don't know how to really use a camera, but you're learning. You talk about the things you're learning. When you talk about them more, you become confident. It just naturally happens that you become confident when you talk about the things like over and over again. Use your friend, talk to them about these subjects more than once, and then it's gonna translate on camera that you'll be confident to talk about it. Like I said, utilize your story to even talk about it. On Twitch, I was talking a lot about relationships, a lot about my lifestyle, and I did some fitness content. I would always relate it back to, if I'm talking about relationships, I wasn't a relationship coach or anything, but I would talk about the relationships I've been in, having the audience ask me questions like, how do you get your dream girl? How do you approach a girl, or what's the appropriate dynamic for the first date? And just telling it from my own experience, because I've been through it, it came natural, the conversation of even talking about those relationships, because I've already been through those things. Whether you're creating entertainment content or educational content, utilizing your story makes a difference. Even if you're talking about something, let's say it's super business related. How I related to some of my clients was, I used to work in the nightclub industry, and some of my clients used to, either go to those places or they used to maybe work in those environments. And I grew a connection because we had something to relate on. And so when you are talking about your stories, whether or not it's where you came from, maybe you didn't come from the richest neighborhood, or you came from a specific neighborhood and you grew up a certain way, or you did a certain job. When you add those to your stories and to your videos, you're creating your community. And that's what I created when I found those type of clients that worked in the nightclub industry or been to those types of places. So I was able to connect with them on a deeper level. And so that's why sharing your stories is super impactful, because you never know who you're gonna reach. Biggest takeaway from this video is keep in mind that becoming confident on camera takes time, takes repetition. You have to keep in mind, you aren't pleasing the world. A jack of all trades is a master of none. When you're recording videos, you have to keep in mind that you're not trying to become internet famous. You are helping one person out. If you can help one person out, that translates to 10, translates to 30, translates to 50, translates to 100 plus people. If you can help that community out, that's all you should focus on. Is when you can focus on you can help one person out, it gives you the confidence to even get on camera. It removes the fear from even getting started, because you're not overthinking about who is gonna like my videos, who is watching me, who am I trying to impress? We have to have the mindset of, I don't care what anyone thinks about me, I'm gonna help that one person out to build that loyal community. And then think about being on camera as talking to your friend. It makes it a lot easier that way. Talking about things you care about, talk about things that you're passionate about, talk about a subject that you know in your heart that is genuine and honest. If you want to educate people related to something educational like personal development, use your story. Your story is powerful. Over time, when you start doing this, you're gonna sound and look very confident on camera. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you guys found this video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I want to be able to help more entrepreneurs and content creators like you.